So I literally got on Facebook this morning and saw that China is requiring all of its social media creators to have some kind of verification or license if they're going to talk about something in a sensitive field: medicine, law, finance, education, things that require a license or a degree. Douyin, Weibo, and Bilibili. I'm not going to pretend like I know how to say those things. If you're using on that platform as a Chinese national, you have to verify. And if you cannot verify, you can be fined or banned or shut down. The idea is obviously to stop misinformation from becoming rampant. I just think that they've been circling us for decades concerning their infrastructure and their out of this world internet. And now here they are, laughing at us, pointing at us while we circle the drain. Very nice. It really sucks in this day and age to watch countries make actual tangible improvements for its people while we cannot even agree that our president is a fucking pedophile. Social media improvements like that are not going to be made in this country anytime soon. How do we pivot from doom and gloom into something positive? You know, my first response to social media point blank is cynicism. I have to check myself, because then I have to remember there's a Facebook group that I'm a part of, which is the only way that I have to connect with the 60, 70 some people that I went to the International Summer University with in Fulda, Germany 12 years ago. And I consider those people to be like family. I have to remember that there is so much good that comes from the raw aspect of just wanting to have a genuine, authentic connection with people. And you know, it doesn't just have to be in person. I do believe that we can have meaningful interactions online, for sure. I have seen how destructive social media can be. I am literally experiencing it with my family right now. It has reshaped people's minds, attention, personality, and their relationships. But I don't want this story to be about what's broken. I want it to be about what works and what is great about it and what we can learn in this situation. I want to understand what might still be possible in this space. So instead of asking what's wrong with social media as a whole, maybe let's go through another set of questions. What kind of connection feels real to me? And is the internet capable of hosting that? Do I think that interactions on the internet can be real? 1000%. Maybe it's the quiet internet or the invisible internet. You know, the moments that don't go viral, the private comments, the tiny acts of empathy that don't get a lot of attention. They may not go viral, but they still matter. It can be a small, sincere, unrecorded act. That is real. That is what is real to me. How do we reclaim our humanity from the machines that we are essentially forced to use if we want to participate in society in any meaningful way? Connection does not have to be optimized for the algorithm. An algorithm is not connection. Those two words are not synonymous. I've been thinking a lot about the algorithm on YouTube, because mine absolutely sucks. If you think that you are going to mimic a neurodivergent brain, there is no human created thing at this time in life that is going to mimic the neurodivergent brain in any way, shape, or form, in any capacity. Please stop trying to do that. You cannot predict me or my special interests. Please don't try. I think one of the few ethical ways that we can use social media is to actually use it like a human being. Stop letting the algorithm shove things into your face for you. It's not predicting anything. We have to refuse to let the algorithm make us so predictable. Like, is there something specific that you're looking for? Find it. That's exactly what you would have done if you did not have your phone. So just do what you would have done if you didn't have your phone first. That's it. And then here's the last question that I'm going to ask myself for this video. If you are coming from a place of personal responsibility, then I think that it is very relevant for me to come from a place of repair. You know, repair can be categorized under responsibility, but I'm actually going to just call it repair and look at it separately of responsibility, because I would even argue that right now we have to do a lot of repairing first, not just in this realm, but obviously in multiple realms in our country. But you know, what does repair look like in this rendition of the digital age? To take responsibility, we first have to understand that we are flawed people and that our opinions can change at any time. Our views are allowed to change over time, and I would suggest that they should. I have dramatically, in the last few years, changed my views on vomiting and professional wrestling. I highly suggest it. Repair to me looks like taking responsibility of the good, the bad, and especially the ugly. Despite the fact that there's a piece of media out there from a couple of years ago that contradicts what you just said. It seems inevitable now, but people are just standing on business from what they said 5-10 years ago because they don't want to be wrong. What is the matter with being wrong? We are very much allowed to change, and like I said, we should. Once we realize and accept that we can change, and we know and understand and accept that that change is also happening in our real lives and not just on social media, that also translates tangibly. So if the internet is like soil, maybe it's possible to grow something there that in a way feeds on us and what we contribute directly to it. I do think that we have to figure out, if we're in tune with ourselves, if we're in alignment with ourselves. That's kind of the point of what I was saying earlier. When we expose ourselves to the world, it just really helps us to know who we are first. So while our views can change, it's good for us to know what it is and who we are in that moment, and to accept ourselves as we are in that moment. We can create something maybe that feeds us instead of feeding off of us. Whether that's your own community, or, posting your art or your music or your acting work, or, whatever it is, I don't know. So, neurodivergent kid coming in to ruin all the fun. Are we food, tools, cigarettes, or guns? No. We are very much human beings that are wired for connection and meaning. We need to start reminding ourselves that we are human, because the lines between capitalism and humanity are starting to blur to a point that we can't recognize. We don't know where one ends and the other begins. Cool. At the end of the day, we are not wired for this. We are not designed for this. This is a very recent invention, not even 20 years old. How do we want to age with it? Because there's no way that we can get away from this now. This is a part of life, period, the end. But we are not defined by punctuation or even ends. We are capable of building things that last a long time. We're capable of building things that may last just as long as we are alive, and the value that delivers to people is astronomical. I think about Bruce. Been thinking about Bruce today. Bruce is one of the first people that I met when I started skating at the end of 2017. For about 2 years, I saw Bruce every Tuesday night. Bruce was an older man who was probably around my dad's age. I don't know what he died of. I didn't hear anything about it. All I saw was just this bombardment of well-wishers and sad people who were commenting on his Facebook page. I saw a post from his brother who said, "Please share positive memories about my brother here." All of the comments were people who also skated with him. The fact that he was 70 and skating is absolutely phenomenal, but I remember just being so in awe of the dozens of people, probably 24 people commented on this post, and they were all people who skated with him, people who he made a positive impact on. Bruce taught me how to skate. Out of all the people who tried to help me, overwhelmingly, he helped me the most. He skated, in my opinion, with blue-eyed soul. And I'm still reeling about that, because, it's crazy to me that, I may never skate in Austin again. I mean, I will, but it may be the last time that I ever skate at all. I don't know. But who Bruce was to me and who he was to a lot of people That cannot be replaced. Social media can only, have a ripple effect. Those stories are going to be on the internet forever now. And in 200 years, someone is going to find that. And they're going to think about what life must have been like for us. I would not have known that Bruce had died if I had not have gotten on Facebook that day. Social media, even today, has a tangible positive effect on my life. I'm not a hypocrite. I'm willing to stand on that. It has saved lives. It has saved democracies and countries. It's a massive responsibility and a huge ask to ask humanity to monitor itself for the greater good. Because now we cannot even agree what the greater good actually is. But how are you gonna show up here? Not here, but here where you are. R.I.P. Bruce. Oh, no more flag. Oh, there you are. Yeah.